let's move on to my most anticipated matchup of the week, of course.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. No reason in particular. The Cowboys traveling to LA to face the number 2 seed Rams, who have had a week of rest themselves as the Cowboys come off their home win against Seattle. I'll give my thoughts on this one first. I think this will be another very competitive and close game. For the majority of the season, the Rams almost looked unstoppable, right? They had a very, very tough schedule. They went up against the Chiefs. They went up against the Saints. They went up against the Eagles. I mean, they played some very, very tough matchups, right? So they are battle tested in a sense. But guess what? The Cowboys and their top-ranked rushing offense are coming into this game against, in my opinion, a very weak rush defense for the Rams. Surprisingly weak. When you see the names that are lined up, especially on the defensive line for the Rams with Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald and even Dante Fowler, who's really not a run stuffer, but you would think that the Rams would have a little better rush defense, and then they're very, very poor in that aspect. So I think the Cowboys definitely need to control the clock, use Elliott. He needs to get 25, 30 touches with a mixture of run and pass. And I'm very, very confident in this Cowboys defense that they can contain this Rams offense enough to get the job done. With all that being said, and this pains me to say because I'm trying to be a realistic Cowboys fan right now.
Yeah.
I think the Rams having that week off really, really will help them, especially with Todd Gurley coming into this game with that injured knee. I'm not sure he'll be 100%. I'm giving this game to the Rams. I think they win by a touchdown. I think 28-21. I think they get the ball late, drive down, and I think they have a game-winning touchdown to seal the deal. So that pains me to say because I think this Cowboys team is legitimate, and I think they have enough to have what it takes to win. But this Rams offense is still very, very scary. And like I mentioned, the fact that they had an extra week off to prepare with Sean McVay is somewhat of a scary sight to think about. So, unfortunately, I'm giving this one to the Rams.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game. The Cowboys, they did step up and beat the Seahawks, but the Seahawks are not the Rams. Okay, and the compared to the Rams offense, the Seahawks is nothing, and the Cowboys were unable to score a lot of points against the Seahawks defense, and I think they can score against the Rams. I think they can get in the 20s in points. But like I've said in the past, it depends on Dak. Ezekiel Elliott will show up. Amari Cooper will make plays. I know even though Cooper had 7 receptions for 106 yards, I actually think they need to get it to him more. Because some of those plays were big chunk plays, and they didn't consistently get it to him. And I thought that was a reason why they kept Seattle in the game. They weren't able to get that passing game 100% going. You have to have a mix, especially with a running quarterback. The RPO. You have to have run, pass, and the option of the quarterback running. And the Cowboys absolutely need to do that if they want to win. The Cowboys defense will show up. We know this. And the way they played against the Saints, where they only held the Saints to 10 points, and that front seven dominated, they need to do that to the Rams. Look at what the Bears did. Look at what the Eagles did to Jared Goff. You flustered him. Jared Goff is not that good of a quarterback. I've said this in the past. You can get Jared Goff off his game when, Sean McVay hasn't developed a clear play for him, right? When he has to scramble, it's over because he's getting play calls from Sean McVay 15 seconds up until the play starts. So he's not even ready to go. So the defense definitely, I think, has the advantage in this game as far as Dallas goes. The Rams defense needs to play better. They haven't played better. The egos have started to get up. We saw Marcus Peters go into the stands. We've seen, a couple guys not play well. So I think their defense needs to step up. The Rams need to rely on Todd Gurley and put in C.J. Anderson when needed, but C.J. Anderson has been solid. Here's another interesting thing about this. The Rams, this is their first tough game in 3 weeks. They've essentially had 3 weeks off. They played the Cardinals, they played the 49ers, and then they get a week off. So they haven't had a tough game since their 2 losses in a row to the Bears and Eagles. So they are not coming into this game with momentum. Dallas does. With all that said, I do think that the Rams just have a better roster in general, and I agree with you. I think they're going to win by a touchdown or possibly more if there's mistakes made by Dak or fumbles. I do think the Rams will win this game, but it's going to be closer, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't believe that. Dallas's defense is too good for it to be a blowout, and unless Dak just completely craps the bed in this game, I see this being a touchdown game. And the Cowboys will have a chance, but I think ultimately I will predict that the Rams will win.
Yeah. One last thing that I want to say, because we've all been kind of hyping up this defense, and they've been playing very well, and I think they will continue to play well. And I think one of the biggest factors going into this game that bodes well for the Cowboys, the Rams are not a tough kind of pounded out, type of offense, right? They like to spread the ball out, and yes, obviously Todd Gurley will get involved, but they are a space type of team. They have speed on offense, and they like to utilize that speed. Well, guess what? The Cowboys have that same type of speed at all three levels. With their defensive line, they move around. Like, their defensive line does not just stop because a pass has been thrown. Their defensive line runs to the ball on every single play. We know about their linebackers. I've already talked about them. I think they're the best young linebacking duo in the league, and they are fast. They run sideline to sideline. Their secondary is young as well, and while they're a little inexperienced and many people may not know about their players in the secondary, they are also fast and they can cover ground. So I think that speed on defense will be able to match the speed and the tempo and the type of things that the Rams want to do on offense. So if the Cowboys were going up against more of a ground and pound team like Seattle last week, they showed that they can do that as well. But I think if you want to try to have speed and play that type of game against Cowboys defense, that team will be up to the task. So, like I said, a tough game, but I think you and I both agree. I think the Rams might just have a little more edge.
Yeah, but the Cowboys have a chance because if Dak steps up, that puts an element that I don't think we're both predicting in this case. If Dak just throws for 400 yards and gets Amari Cooper in the game and throws to the tight ends and gets Ezekiel Elliott in the game, the Cowboys could win the game, to be honest, easy, because Jared Goff is not trustworthy enough. And I think that Cooper Kupp injury earlier this year definitely decimated the offense enough to where they're beatable now. And we've seen that now with the Bears and Eagles. And we've seen the defensive strategy to stop the Rams. The Cowboys just need to implement that and get that in. So Cowboys have a chance, but I'm not going to predict they win. I think the Rams win.